Hello everyone, my name is Miss Kristen, and I am so excited to be visiting you today. I work at a museum. A museum is a place you go when you want to learn about something new, and I work at an art museum. So, can you guess what you would learn about if you visited an art museum? Imagine you were going inside an art museum, what would you see? If you guessed art, you're right. Inside the art museum is all different kinds of beautiful art. And the name of the museum where I work is the Dixon Gallery and Gardens. Inside we have paintings and drawings and sculpture, and the art is so special and it comes from all over the world. Some of it's really old and some of it's really new. But outside is super special too, because outside at the Dixon we have a beautiful garden that's full of plants, flowers, and trees. I hope you'll get a chance to go and visit it someday. But today, we're going to look at some paintings that are inside the museum right now as part of a special show. My friend Mr. Bill is going to take us inside the museum and show us some paintings. And then we're going to make a project from start to finish today. So I hope you guys are ready to create something fun. I'll see you back here when it's time to start making, but have fun at the museum with Mr. Bill. See you soon.
Hi there, I'm Mr. Branch. I'm at the Dixon Gallery and Gardens, standing here beside a large painting. What do you think's in the painting here? What do you see? It's a view. It's the land. We call this a landscape. Artists did landscapes over and over again. They did many landscapes. It's a way to look at the world. When you look at the painting, what's going on? What do you see in this painting? There are trees, lots of them. Some large, some smaller, some close, some in a distance. All landscapes also have the sky. That's what we see when we look out towards the land. In the sky, what do you see? Clouds. Artists had to learn how to make clouds. They're not easy to make in art. When you look here, you see water. That is actually a river. It's off in the distance. It's not as close up as the other parts of the painting. One way that artists show a landscape is things that are far away are light, kind of shady, light in color. And things that are close are very dark. What do you see up close in this painting? There are two men. See them right there? One is kind of sitting on the ground. The other one is standing up. Have any idea what they're doing or who they are? They are artists. They're talking to each other about what they see and how they would paint it. So if you were to try to paint a landscape, imagine yourself sitting there and somebody telling you, paint this landscape. What would you do?
Thanks, Mr. Bill, for showing us that really cool painting. This gives me a great idea for some art of my own. Let's get started. For today's project, we'll be making a landscape. That just means a picture of a place outside. Today we're going to tear paper to make our landscape, so we'll need some paper. Make sure you have a piece of paper for the background, and then some colorful paper that we can tear into strips. So I've got some green and blue paper, but I also have a piece of white paper, and if all you have is white, that's okay. You'll also need a glue stick and some crayons. If you have a pair of scissors, we can use those at the very end of our project today, but if not, or if you're still working on your cutting skills, it's okay. That step can be left off. I'm going to start by working on my sky. So I'm going to make a blue sky today. Your sky doesn't have to be blue. If you wanted to do a sunset, you might use red or orange instead, or even make your sky pink or purple. It's up to you. But I'm going to tear my blue paper so that it's almost the same size as my paper in the back. And then I'm going to start ripping it into strips. So watch how I start at the top of my page and I pull all the way down until it tears into a skinny strip. This part can be a little bit tricky, but I know with practice you'll get it. Because I only have one type of blue paper, I thought it would be fun to color my white paper a light blue. That way I have different kinds of blues in my sky. So I'm going to look for a light blue color, and I'm going to color part of my white paper with blue. Now that I have my paper colored in a lighter blue, I'm going to tear it into strips too. Just like before, I'll start at the top and pull straight down. If, when you're tearing, your paper rips into a small piece, don't worry, we can use the small pieces too, but just do the best you can when tearing it into long and skinny pieces. Now that I have all my strips of blue paper torn, I'm going to start gluing them to my background paper. I'm going to take a glue stick and make a line of glue at the very top of my page. Then I'll get one of my blue strips and glue it down. Make sure that it goes all the way to the edges. After that, make another line of glue underneath and glue your second piece of paper. I like to let my strips touch so that none of the background shows through. Keep adding lines of glue and blue strips until you make it halfway down your page. I decided I wanted to make a mountain for my landscape today. You don't have to add a mountain to your landscape, but if you want one, here's how I made mine. I wanted a brown mountain, but I didn't have any brown paper, so I started by coloring my white piece of paper with a brown crayon. You can make your mountain any color you want, like purple or blue, or whatever color you think would look nice with your artwork. After I colored my paper, I wanted to tear my mountain into kind of a triangle shape. Mountains are wide and flat at the bottom and kind of pointy on top, so I did the best I could to tear it into a triangle. But if it's not perfect, that's okay. That will just help it look more like a real mountain if it's rough. Now that my mountain shape is torn out, I'm going to turn it over and put glue on the back. Since it's kind of a funny shape, it might get messy if I try to put the glue on the background paper instead. Glue it down and you can let it overlap with your sky. That means go right on top of the paper that you've already put down. Now I want to work on my land. Today I wanted to use green for grass, but you might decide you want yours to be the ocean, so you can use blue and purple, or you can use any color you want. So I'm going to grab some green paper, since I want grass, and tear it into strips. Just like before, start at the top and tear down to the bottom. Again, I wanted to have some different kinds of green, and I only had one piece of green paper, so I'm going to use my white paper and color it a lighter green. And now I want to tear that into strips too. Just like when I was gluing down my strips for my sky, I want to do my land the same way. I'm going to put a line of glue and glue the first strip of green right on top. Then I'll do another line of glue underneath and let my second strip of green kind of touch the first one. I'm going to keep repeating this step, adding glue and paper until I reach the bottom of my page. Now I'm going to use crayons to go back and add some more detail. You can add whatever details you want to your landscape. I'm using a black crayon to outline my mountains. I'm going to go back and add some grass, some clouds, some birds and flowers. But you can add whatever details you want to your artwork. Just use some crayons and color right on top of the strips of paper. This next step is optional. That means you can do it if you want, but you don't have to. If you want to clean up your landscape so that it looks nice and neat at the edges, you can turn your paper over and use some scissors to trim away any places that the strips stick off the edge. You might need an adult to help you with this step, but remember, you don't have to do it at all. And that's it. Our torn paper landscape is complete. I hope you had fun making. If you're really proud of what you've made, you can share it with us using the hashtag #DixonAtHome or #DiscoverTheDixon. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye!